Ernest Hemingway slept here. Now they do, descendants of Hemingway's six-toed cats. The Hemingway home is dedicated to preserving the legacy of author Ernest Hemingway and of his cats. In Key West, anything goes. Chickens need no reason to cross the road, or a license, for that matter. But when the Federal Department of Agriculture got wind of the museum's cats, it dictated how they should be cared for.
The museum challenged it on Commerce Clause grounds and said these cats are marooned at the very southern tip of Florida, will never cross the state line, and furthermore, they were not bought or sold, they were merely born.
To the framers, commerce meant I send something to you in Boston when I'm in New York. That was interstate commerce of the kind that could be regulated. When two people in the same state traded something, that was not interstate commerce and therefore could not be federally regulated. That was the intention of the framers.
The framers didn't design an almighty federal government that could reach down right into your backyard or barnyard.
During World War II, there was a farmer who grew grain, and he fed that grain to his own animals.
And the federal government had a program at the time that dictated how much wheat farmers could grow on their own land. And he said, hey, that's not constitutional. Why? Because I'm not engaged in interstate commerce.
But in Wickard versus Filburn, the highest court in the land thought otherwise.
And in a convoluted analysis, the Supreme Court declared that because that wheat would not be used in interstate commerce, it still impacted interstate commerce through some type of displacement.
So they're taking the Commerce Clause and stretching it like a rubber band to apply to any kind of business when it was originally meant just to be for cross-border commerce, like it says.
I agree, but some scholars disagree. In their view, there's little, if anything, beyond the regulatory authority of the federal government.
In an economy like ours, things really are interconnected. And what goes on one farmer's farm really does affect what happens elsewhere. And so when the Supreme Court says the Interstate Commerce Clause gives Congress the power to regulate things that seem awfully local, it's not just engaging in some kind of trap to expand federal power. It's recognizing an economic reality.
If the test under the Commerce Clause becomes, does it affect commerce, then everything affects commerce, whether you do something or don't do something.
Well, once you have the power over anything that affects commerce amongst the states, then you basically have the power over everything.
Everything? Even Hemingway's cats?
The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, and I kid you not, said that because the museum features these cats on its website and has cat-related merchandise in its gift shop, that is a substantial connection to interstate commerce, and that opens the door for the federal government to come in and exert control. Not making that up.